For example, let's say if you're starting a business, you don't have the money to hire people, right? These are high net worth individuals who have money to pay you multiple lakhs. Amazing part about it, like that is the potential of online info space, that is the potential of having leverage. Then you can entirely automate your business. How to earn more while working less. So in this video, I'll just break down the entire thought process of how I view this entire topic, and from my real life experience of running a business and also being an employee at one point of time, what is actual reality, so that if you're just starting your journey, or maybe you are in the middle of your journey, this concept can make more sense, and after this video you would understand how to do this in a more effective manner based on which stage you are at. Right now, when I talk about work less and earn more, basically I can, according to my thought process, I can divide it into two different stages, which is stage number one, a person who is just starting out his journey, whether he is a employee, a working professional, or basically an entrepreneur. And stage two is somebody who has been a employee or an entrepreneur for a longer period of time, like it's been 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, he has been like into the game for a while now. So there are two stages always. Now, just for your context, even before we start with the stages, when I say work less, I believe honestly that there is no substitute for hard work. If you want to become successful, at least in the initial stages, you will have to work hard. And I'll prove that with the different two stages, what are the pros and what are the scenarios that can actually happen. So we are going to make like a holistic entire picture over here. But when I say work less, it does not mean that you're not working at all. You're still doing some hard work, but it is comparatively less to what other people are doing to make the same amount of money. Let's say you are working 2 units per day to make 1 lakh rupees in a day, right? Whereas another person is working 10 units a day to make the same kind of money. Then of course, in that context, you are working less and you are earning more. And that is what I mean by this entire topic. Now, in order to achieve that, your favorite and your most important thing that you can use in your life is going to be something known as leverage. If you want to take away anything from this video, it is going to be this one word. Now, if you know who Naval Ravikant is, this is like a very, you can of course go and check out who he is, but of course he's a philosopher, a deep thinker, a business owner, investor, etc., etc. Naval Ravikant, according to him, he has divided leverage into 3 different categories, right? Number one, we can simplify it into people. Number 2 can be capital or money, and lastly can be code or media. Now, what does this mean? What does leverage actually mean to regular people like you, like me? Now look, leverage you can say it's the 8th wonder of the world. After 7th wonder, I would say, after compounding interest, which Warren Buffett said, leverage is the next one, right? So leverage basically means for doing the same, getting the same amount of output, how less of an input can you put? Example, let's say you're running a business, right? When you start out a business, of course, you're doing all the work. You are the finance manager, you are the fulfillment guy, you are the salesperson, you're the marketer as well. Eventually, once your business starts growing and doing good, like making 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs a month, then you start hiring people, right? When you start hiring people, it allows you to free up your own time, and instead of now working 12 hours a day, you are now working 10 hours a day. Why? Because you hired a marketer, you hired a salesperson. Correct? So that is giving you leverage. Now you have that extra 2 hours, 4 hours with yourself, which you can again put in other activities and grow the business even more. That is what I mean by leverage. Similarly, capital. Let's say you are making 10 lakhs a month and you're making 9 lakhs in profit out of that, right? Now this 9 lakhs you can again reinvest into the business, into advertisements to grow your business to 20 lakhs next month. Or maybe you can take some of that chunk, 50% of that, and put into trading and grow your money from there. Again, that is second form of leverage. Third form of leverage is code or media. When I say code, of course, you might have seen these SaaS companies, right? They build the product once, right? The major product, they have to build it once. Of course, bugs and technology development keeps on happening, but they majorly have to build it once and they keep on selling it to different people, right? That is leverage. That is what we mean by code. And media is content creation. You must have seen all these content creators making lakhs and crores every single month, right? Why? Because they have created leverage. Now, once like they are speaking, they have like a million people who are listening to them. So even if they like take out one single product, there are thousands of people and lakhs of people who are ready to buy it. Why? Because they have created leverage for themselves, and that is how they are able to work less while earning more. In the context of, let's say, an influencer with a million followers is selling something versus I am selling something, of course it will be much easier for him to sell something to his audience. That is what we mean by working less and earning more. Now let's come to the two stages. What do I mean by these two stages, right? Stage one is somebody who is just kind of starting out in your journey. Now if you are starting out in your journey, then basically the idea of working less shouldn't be in your mind. Very honestly, I'm saying that, like, you have to do some sort of hard work initially. You have to, initial 1-2 years you will have to grind, and you will have to, do that hustle in order to reach your goals, in order to reach a position when you can start using these leverages to your best potential. For example, let's say if you're starting a business, you don't have the money to hire people, right? You don't have the capital to invest into ads, unless and until you are like, you have got some venture capitalist investing in you. You do not have code or media. Now you might be like, Shashank, I can start Instagram and get viral, but out of 1,000 people, only 1 or 2% people are there who are actually getting viral in the initial first few reels, right? So even that is not a very predictable way or a predictable leverage that you can make. Of course, keep on trying, but you're not going to get immediate customers from your social media content or your code as well, right? So that is what you need to remember, that you need to do hard work. Now while doing this hard work, there is a smart way to do this working less and earning more, which is what I want to touch base upon, right? For both cases, for being an employee as well and being an entrepreneur as well. And this is how I basically made my decision of which industry should I go in and what should I do. Even while launching a business, this is how basically this was my exact thought process. Let's say you are a employee currently, right? Or maybe you want to just start out your job, your career, you are a person just graduated from college, etc, 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 whatever, right? Now as an employee, you need to think, how can you create leverage for yourself in your life? How can you work less while earning more compared to 90% other population of the world, right? How I did it was by finding a field that actually rewards my hard work, that actually rewards me for the value that I produce instead of the time that I'm giving. Now if you look at any 9-to-5 job right now, right, let's break it down. If you look at any 9-to-5 job, let's say you are a corporate individual, you have done software engineering, you got a 9-to-5 job for I don't know what, 7 lakh per annum, right? 7 lakhs per annum, you got a corporate job for this, right? But now you're getting paid basically for the time that you are giving in, not the value that you're bringing to the company. Now maybe the company is paying you 7 lakh, but of course in terms of output, you are producing indirectly for the company, for example, let's say 70 lakhs per annum. And that is why the company is okay to give you 7 lakhs out of that, right? But your value that you are producing is way more than what you are getting paid. You are basically getting paid for the time that you are investing into the company. Now it's pretty simple. If you want to get rich, if you want to earn more money, and the kind of money that you are earning is tied up with your time, then you would never be able to become successful. All rich people, all wealthy people who are successful never charge for the time. They don't charge for the time, they charge for the value. If you know Alex Hormozy, like that guy literally conducted a book launch recently, right? I'm pretty sure if you are in the info space, you must have seen him. But that guy literally made almost $100 million in 3 days. That is 800 crores in 3 days by selling a book, which is the most like amazing part about it. Like that is the potential of online info space. That is the potential of having leverage. Why? Because that guy had capital, that guy had people, that guy had media leverage and code leverage. He had all the leverages. In code, he had basically his school community. For media, he has like almost 13 million followers across platforms. Capital, he is running acquisition.com, already good net worth of $100 million. And of course, he has a very big team. So that is why the guy was able to make 800 crores in just 3 days, right? But what does that exactly mean? What am I trying to convey over here? What I'm trying to convey over here is, as an employee, you need to find an activity which is highly leveraged, which is paying you for the value that you're creating. Now, in my case, of course, I am a biased person because this is what I chose. So I can give you the ground reality of what I chose and how the leverage actually worked out for me. So in order to find this kind of a career, what I basically took as my career was high ticket closing. Now, if you are not familiar with what high ticket closing is, basically these influencers or these people in the online info space, right? They have millions of followers. Example, Alex Hormozy. Let's say Alex Hormozy tomorrow launches a program and he wants to sell it for $10,000, right? Now, people are not just going to give you $10,000. They want to speak to somebody who can clarify their doubts, right? Now, Alex Hormozy himself is not going to go on all the sales calls, right? So he needs a sales team. He needs closers who can close on his behalf. And that is what high ticket closing exactly is. Where there is a service and there is the demand, you as a closer are just going and selling it. So basically you are a salesperson, but not a regular traditional salesperson. You are a high ticket closer. Why? Because you are selling high ticket packages. When I say high ticket packages, let's say the package in Indian terms would be anywhere above 1 lakh rupees, right? You're selling 1 lakh rupee plus services or coaching services. And in international terms, it can be anything above $5,000, right? Now you would be like, Shashank, okay, this makes sense, but how is this actually leveraged? Now this is the best part of being a high ticket closer, and this is why I entered this industry. When I entered, the industry was a bit different because this was like 3-4 years back. Now it has become even better for closers, I would say. When I was closing, there was a high ticket closer didn't used to get any salary. We were like commission based closer, purely commission. Whatever we will sell, that is what we'll make. So while I was doing high ticket closing, I was selling 2 lakh rupee packages in India, right? So, and I was getting 10% on the cash collected, basically. Now let's say if I was able to sell even one package of 2 lakhs to somebody, I used to make 20,000 rupees out of that. Now if I was able to sell 5 units of this in a month, I used to make 1 lakh rupees with that, 20,000 per sale. That is what high ticket closing allows you to do. It gives you leverage for the value that you are creating instead of the time. Now, was it easy? Was I just working 9 to 5? No, absolutely not. I was working extremely hard. I was working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, but I was making good amount of money and I was getting good exposure in the industry. So this is hard, right? This is not easy, but this will allow you to basically earn more money while working less than other people. Compared to a corporate individual, if they have to reach that salary package of 1 lakh or 2 lakh per month, they literally have to stay in the same company for 3, 4, 5 years and then get promoted, go through all that corporate politics. But as a high ticket closer, you can do that in your second month itself if you're good at sales. And that is what I mean by having proper leverage, by working less and earning more. Why? Because you don't have to spend 5 years of your years in, 5 years of your life in order to get promoted in a corporate world. That is what you need to do. If you are an employee, you can look at this high ticket closing or any other job or any other careers which is giving you this kind of a leverage. Now, coming to the other side of the picture, this was basically for employees. Now let's talk about business owners as well. Let's say if you are a business owner over here, what should you do? So when eventually after doing closing for a while, I decided to launch my own business, top line selling, right? But again, as a business owner also, I have to think, my thought process is same, leverage. How can I make the maximum amount of leverage? While working less, how can I earn more? Now, if you're a business owner, this is exactly what you should do. This is my thought process. Of course, you might agree, you might not agree, but that's on you. As a business owner, what I did is, again, I focused on one thing, which is working with high ticket clients. Who are high ticket clients? Who can pay you good amount of money. These are high net worth individuals who have money to pay you multiple lakhs every single month, right? So this is what I focused on. Now you'll be like, Shashank, why high ticket clients? Very simple. Let's say there are two persons. There is a person A and there is a person B. This is me basically. Person B is Shashank, let's say. Right? Now we both are running businesses. This person is basically charging, for example, 30K for his services, right? His goal is to make 9 lakh rupees a month. So basically he needs to sign in 30 clients every single month. Now if he has 30 clients, of course he cannot fulfill 30 clients himself, right? Especially if he's providing a service. Now he needs to have a team. Team size would at least be 5 people apart from him, right? So now he has to manage the 30 clients and the 5 people as well. Not directly manage the 30 clients, but of course he needs to, his mental bandwidth is getting consumed because client results are very important in service industry, correct? Apart from this, now he also needs to have, let's say if he's running an offline business or an online business, he needs to have different types of softwares and tools so that everything can be organized, correct? And then after doing all these things, he is making 9 lakhs a month, per month. And for doing this, he needs to at least work, he will be like working very, very hard, correct? Why? Because he needs to fulfill 30 clients every single month, correct? Coming to, whereas in my situation, instead of charging 30 lakhs, what I will charge directly from a high ticket client is 2 lakh rupees from a single client. Now in order to make that same 9 lakh rupees, I just need almost what, 5 clients, 4 to 5 clients. Now for handling 5 clients, I don't need team members. Why? Because 5 clients are easily manageable, right? So there is literally 0 people that I need to hire and manage. And of course I will invest on softwares and tools as well to make my life more easier, like I have done right now. Invested into GPT and all other different tools to create more leverage, correct? So this is the difference basically. As a business owner, again, what I'm doing is I'm working less. Now, of course, you can compare. While handling 30 clients plus 5 more team members and handling 5 clients only, definitely I'm working less than this guy. Even if I'm giving 5 hours every single day to my clients, I'm just working 5 hours a day, correct? And this guy has to literally work 12 hours in order for him to make this work, this business work. And that is what I mean by having a highly leveraged business. This is what you should do. Charge higher and work with lesser people. So again, the concept is simple. You're working less, but you are earning more compared to this kind of a person. Why? Because you just understood how to use leverage in your own scenario. That is stage number 1 overall, right? Coming to the second side of the board, which is stage number 2 now. Now stage number 2 is somebody who is not starting out. They are already experienced. They have been into this game for a while. They have been like, it's been 5, 10 years, 15 years, whatever, 5+ years. Now the game over here completely shifts. Now you can actually create that kind of leverage where you can replace yourself. You can automate your business, right? Again, let's talk about both the scenarios, as an employee and as a basically the business owner as well. Let me use another marker for this. Let's go for green. In case of an employee, let's say you are an employee, you have been working in the corporate world for a while now. Now there would come a stage that after working for almost a decade, and if you are good, of course you would be getting promotions. If you're not good, then of course then it's a problem. And if you know that you are good and still not getting promotion and still you are stuck in the same job role in the same company, then again it's a problem. Why? Because you're not getting out of your comfort zone. So that's a problem. You need to shift jobs then. But in an ideal case, with a smart person who is an employee, after working for almost 1 decade, what happens is they get promoted. Now they get promoted to maybe, I don't know, manager level or C-level executives. They become a C-level executive in the company, right? They are heading the departments. Now this is where they can use actually leverage. Why? Because now they don't have to directly do operations. They need to just manage people now. So these people actually get the leverage of people. Why? Because the CEO is not doing daily operations. He's making strategic decisions for the business, right? A manager is not he's not like taking sales calls regularly, a sales manager. He's basically managing his entire sales team of 10, 20, 30 members, whatever it is, right? So he's basically leveraging people, at the same time making more money that he used to make earlier. This is the stage number 2, where you can actually work less while earning more compared to what you were doing earlier in the corporate world. This is what stage 2 looks like in the corporate world. And of course, if you are a C-level executive or even a person who is at the high level, you can make good amount of money. I know people who have been making like 1 crore per annum as well, right? Regular people started from the bottom and they were able to reach 1 crore packages, right? So that is very much possible. You will have a great lifestyle as well. You will have good amount of money, and you will have that, basically the goal that you had, while working less, earning more. This is something that you can do at this stage as an employee. Now for the business owner, what he can do is, at stage number 2 is, if a business owner is fairly successful, again we are taking the same example, if you are a good business owner, then of course you will create a successful business. If you have created a successful business, then you can entirely automate your business and you can replace yourself. When I say automate, of course I'm not just talking about AI. What you can essentially do is you can hire again people, and for hiring you need capital. So once you have made enough capital, you can hire a CEO, you can hire a marketing person, you can hire a sales manager, you can hire like a finance guy, you can hire more people. Basically you can hire other employees who can run the entire show for you, and basically you can just replace yourself from the business. And that is what exactly is the goal of all business owners. But to reach here, it takes time. Now there are some exceptional cases. Of course, I know people, you would be like, there are different, Shashank, there are different models where even in the stage 1, just starting out, you can automate the entire business. For example, YouTube automation channel, right? Faceless YouTube channels. You can just create a faceless channel and post over there. But again, if you actually have ever run a faceless YouTube channel, only then you know that it requires a lot of hard work. And eventually my question over here would be to you, a very simple question. Another example would be creating a digital product, Shashank. You can create a digital product, a course, and then just market it, mass market it. And if you are getting good ROI, then basically it's an automated business, which we created in stage number 1 itself. It doesn't take 2-5 years. Good point. But the problem with that is, what's the longevity of this kind of a business? Now for me personally, this is how I think. If I'm launching a digital product or a course or any other thing, right? My viewpoint, my point of view is not so much myopic for this marketplace. I want to be in this market for a long time, the info space. If I'm making a course, definitely there will be some amount of people who need more extra help, somebody who hasn't gotten the answers they were looking for. There would be some client, tickets, basically support tickets that would be raised. Now if my only goal is to make money, right, that would basically take my reputation very down. Especially when I'm starting out, I do not know what exactly people are looking for. I don't have that level of expertise. But if you just use ChatGPT, make a digital product, sell it, yeah, you can make money in short-term basis, but what's the long-term impact is what you need to see. Is that a long-term business that you can sustain upon? Can you run that same model for the next 5 years even? I don't think so. So that is what I mean when I say like you want to create an automated business. I mean like a proper business, not like a 1-2 year sprint that you are doing and making some money. Why? Because that money will eventually go away. You won't be able to sustain it. Why? Because you did not have the foundations correct when you created that money. So that is what you need to focus on. Leverage. If you want to work less, earn more, focus on leverage. 3 types of people: capital, code, media. And in code, I also mean artificial intelligence or AI. Now, if you found this entire video helpful and it was like, it helped you to expand your perspective and see this topic in a different manner. There are a lot of books and a lot of things where people are saying like you can just work 4 hours a day, 4 hours a week as well and make good amount of money. Yeah, sure, you can do that, but that's stage 2. Eventually you will do that. And even in stage 2, I know I keep on, hearing a lot of podcasts from all these successful people, right? So what I've observed is the most successful people who have stopped working entirely, they have like literally stopped working, their wealth creation or their money creation has basically stopped. It has capped off at a point. But the people who are actually creating more wealth, for example, Iman Ghazi, that guy already I think has $100 million net worth at the age of 24, 25, I think, right? But he's still working very hard. He still works like 12, 13 hours a day. Why? Because he wants to create more wealth for himself, wants to push his net worth to maybe $1 billion, right? So whenever you stop working hard personally, then there would be that cap that would come on your net worth, and you would stop making more money. You would make that replacement kind of money, but you won't be able to grow your money exponentially. That exponential growth only happens while you're working. So that is a trade-off that you will have to make after some point of a time. That is more of a personal philosophical question of whether do I need more money or not, or whether I'm happy or not, whatever. So that is it for this video. Hope this helps you to expand your perspective, maybe as an employee, maybe as a business owner, maybe a person who is just starting out his career. If you found this video helpful, click the subscribe button, like this video, drop your thoughts below so that I can reply to them, and I will see you on the next video.